Hello, everyone. This is the Mgtow Cowboy. Greetings and salutations. This afternoon, I want to make a video for you guys, and I want to talk about um, the the relationships that a man has with his female family members, particularly a man's immediate family members and his extended family members. So, to get started, people, I should say men have different types of relationships. As they go out, as they go through the various stages in their life, they have different relationships with men and women. Some of these might include your professional life, right? The men and the women that you meet in your journey of employment. Romantic partners. That might be another good one. I don't know. People in the neighborhood, people that you grow up with. Um, I don't know. There's people everywhere. But I want to talk about again the personal relationships that you have with females within your family, both your immediate family and your extended family. Mostly your immediate, but yeah, you can extend it out a little bit. I have to admit, I I have to admit that I always wanted to be liked by my family members, my female family members, my male family members, everyone. But I frankly was just not liked very much by my female family members. And I think that this is on purpose. And I wanted to develop a couple of ideas here. I always sought, I always sought the, I always sought the acceptance, the approval, the admiration, the love from the women in in my family. So there's a lot of women in my family. I have three sisters. I have a mother and a stepmother, and then of course if you extend it out to extended family, I've got many Mexican aunts, and on my German side too, a lot of aunts, and to varying degrees, I basically would seek out friendly relationships with them, and it's so sad. It's so sad to report this, but I would basically what I would report to you guys is that mm, pretty much all of them were mean to me. They were rotten, rotten. I tell you, they were rotten to the core. Um, and they and they would all use kind of the same set of behaviors to try to control me, or to try to, I don't know, wrestle for power or social dominance. I really mean it when I say that I very much wanted to get along with my sisters, for example. But I found that all my sisters, they all became negative towards me, even after I would do tons of favors for them. They would always tell me how I'm not good enough. They would always tell me how, you know, that I'm never good enough. I always got to try harder. There's always something that I need to know or figure out. But they have the answers, and I must admit I always wanted to be loved by my sisters, but they were never as nice to me as I was to them. And it's sad. Of course, it's sad. But what has evolved over time eventually is uh, it gets so bad and I really mean this, the women in your family, in my family at least, this has been my experience. The women in my family are so negative. Um, it's actually easier to have nothing to do with them. It's easier to sort of push them away and have nothing to do with them than to be around them and suffer their ingratitude, their abusive behavior. Essentially, the women in my life, the women in my immediate and extended families, they have become insufferable. I really mean that, and it's just wild to reflect upon that every once in a while. Of course, I'm single, right? I don't have a girlfriend, and I'm mostly incommunicado with the women in my family. I shouldn't even say mostly. It's complete. It's complete. I don't even have any of their phone numbers. So, and I just wanted to talk about that. I think it's a good goddamn shame. Family can, if they want to, they can love each other very much and support each other. Give each other advice. Even just be there. For your family, for emotional support. But I don't have that, and the reason is because these women, frankly, they want to control me. They want to control me, and they use, the application of, they use it like a lever. They use it like a faucet. They could turn it on and turn it off. If I'm being good, if I'm being servile to them, then they'll be nice. But the second they want something and they don't get it, and not that they deserve it, they want something. They want me to do some work or something for them. They want me to do some free work or whatever, and I don't want to do it. I don't have enough time. My back is hurting. Or, I'll just say, hey, you can do your own work. Well, then they start being a jerk to me, and in their mind, that's acceptable behavior. I don't think that that's acceptable behavior, but in their mind, it's acceptable. And I explain that, and they're just like, huh, whatever. And it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And after years and years of this, that's another thing. After years and years of this, I noticed that um, it's like frankly, you stop loving them. You, it's a very amazing thing what happens to a man after years and years of this, passive aggressive, abusive behavior that women put you through. It comes on slow, but then it just becomes, all encompassing. You basically get to the point where you rationalize. You've gone over in your head, all these things that have happened, all these slights, put downs, backstabbing situations. Um, you come to the realization that, like, these women don't even deserve to be loved. These women don't deserve your love or your respect. They really are just mean, callous, completely self-serving, two-faced creatures. And it's the wildest. It can turn into the wildest emotional roller coaster. You want to love them, but at the same time, you realize eventually they don't love you. Not at all. They see you as a tool to be used. And then eventually, the love that you have for them, it slowly fades. It slowly fades away. And as as black pilled, as red pilled as this may sound, I don't even think of my sisters anymore on a daily basis. Uh, Days and days, weeks will go by, where I don't even think about them. I don't even think about their existence. It's almost like there's a complete emotional detachment that takes place, and that sort of has been happening with my mom now over the last couple of years, and now I kind of see that happening with my father. Although it looks like the connection with my father will be the last major detachment that I'm making, and I think that's for the good. That's for the good as well. so sad. But sometimes when people, are mean, and narcissistic or whatever, the best thing to do is just get away from them. So, anyway, yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. To recap, I think in the beginning, this feeling, it comes on strong. It's natural for a man to want to be loved and accepted by his family members, especially his female family members. Um, yeah, of course, women too outside of your family, but particularly about the family members, the women, female family members in your immediate and extended families. You want to get along with them. You do. There is a certain sense of belonging, being in a loving family. But that was that sort of eluded me in my life. I noticed that the women, very much adopted what you could call like a hardcore feminist stance, political stance, and I was always treated like the outsider. I was never welcome. I was told I'm never good enough, and I always needed to try harder, and they're all high and mighty and wise, and I was always treated like a lowly peasant peon. And I saw eventually that these were just manipulative control tactics that they would use to try to get me to serve them. And slowly, it took years, but slowly, this transformation occurred where I I came to realize that essentially they're full of shit, and that they were just doing this. They would. There's a certain set of tactics, mostly emotional manipulation, that they would engage in to try to control me and keep me servile to them. And then I eventually broke free, and just the catharsis that takes place in a man's mind, where in the beginning he'll do anything for the woman's love and acceptance, and affirmation and all that stuff we talk about in the community. But then eventually, once you realize what they're doing, you actually stop loving them. You see that, essentially, that women don't necessarily deserve the love that you have to offer, them. And then once you realize that, you stop loving them, and then you just move on with your life. That's what I think happens, and that's what I think is indicative of, like, the first half of life, and let's call it the second half of life. I think in many ways the first half of life kind of pertains to the woman. The first half of life is easy on women. It's their ball game. They're young and hot. Everyone wants to be around them. And in the second half of life, they're not hot. They're not hot anymore, and their lies have been exposed, and then at the same time the man is coming into his own. He's developed some skills. He's finally got some dough in his pocket. He's matured a little bit, and then it just does the old it switches around, and then the second half of life kind of belongs to men. And as long as they haven't made any you know any huge mistakes, they can, their life levels out, and they find a little bit of happiness, hopefully. So yeah, just wanted to make that video for you guys. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Everyone, this is the Mgtow Cowboy. I hope all of you are doing well. If you like my content, please like, please comment, please subscribe, and please share. And I'll leave it there. All right, bye.